Hi guys, the Home Office Minister Robert Jenrick was called out once again over his action to paint over images of cartoon characters at a detention centre holding young asylum seekers and children of adult asylum seekers. According to reports and witnesses, Jenrick had ordered the images to be painted over because they had appeared to be too welcoming. When challenged on this, both Jenrick and members of the government ignored the issue until they couldn't anymore, so an excuse was presented. The images were not age appropriate. Then it appeared that many of the children passing through were minors, so the images were appropriate. Labour's Shadow Minister Stephen Kinnock challenged Robert Jenrick over this. Have a listen to his response.
And whilst we're on the subject of children, how utterly astonishing and deeply depressing it was to hear the Minister standing at that dispatch box last week and justifying the erasure of Disney cartoons on the basis of them being age appropriate. Quite apart from the fact that his nasty, bullying, performative cruelty will have absolutely no effect whatsoever in terms of stopping the boats, it's since emerged that more than 9,000 of the children who passed through that building in the year end to March 2023 were under the age of 14. Now, given that a significant proportion of that 9,000 would be younger still, I just wonder whether the Minister would like to take this opportunity to withdraw his comments about the age appropriateness of those cartoons. No. Well, there we have it, Madam Deputy Speaker. This whole sorry episode really was a new low for this Minister and for the shameful, callous government that he represents.
It is. And I hope at the next election Robert Jenrick loses his seat and he's forgotten. And the only thing that people will remember him for is this callous behaviour of painting over images, cartoon images at a detention centre in order to take away any sort of welcoming atmosphere that could have been presented by the staff. I hope he's remembered when he goes into supermarkets, when he's on the street, that people will remind him of his actions. To achieve what? To try and keep some racists and bigots happy? Actually, that doesn't seem to be the case, because there was no obligation on him to do that action, to take that action. There was no obligation, no political obligation. There was no, okay, I need to keep racists and bigots happy in my constituency. Look what I'm going to do in order to keep those people happy. I don't actually agree with this. I don't actually feel it's necessary, but I'll do it in order to win over their support or maintain their support. No. He decided it himself. He went there, he saw these images, and he said, cover them up, paint over them. And when it turns out that, you know, the excuse they gave, him and other government ministers, that, well, these images were not age appropriate, why didn't he just come out and be honest about it and say, I'm a horrible individual? I think these people should not be welcomed. I think we should make the atmosphere as toxic as possible. At least be honest about it. Because that's what he was trying to get at. And all this rubbish about we want to create a welcoming atmosphere, we want to be humanitarian, we want to have a secure border, but we only want in people who are legitimate. Just an utter rubbish. But once again, it's not about trying to keep racists and bigots happy. He made that decision himself. There was no obligation on him to do that. He didn't have to check with somebody. He didn't have to run it past a focus group. He decided it himself. A horrible individual. And what's worrying about this is it's not just in Britain. It's happening all over Europe. Right-wing governments are trying to dehumanize asylum seekers. They're trying to dehumanize the foreigners for political gain. Some of them probably do it because they believe it will boost their ratings with racists and bigots. Others seem to do it because they're horrible individuals, like Robert Jenrick. I hope he loses his seat. I hope this saga, this episode, follows him around and he understands it was a mistake and he apologizes. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think about all of this. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.